You know the competitive advantages that defined the last decade? They're already becoming obsolete. The most durable moats, the ones that will define the next decade, are being built on a completely new foundation. And it's one that most global leaders are only just starting to wrap their heads around. So, here's a thought. What if the very playbook that built your global operations is now your biggest liability? For decades, the strategy was simple, right? We all knew the rules. But that strategy, that old map, it's broken. The old playbook, well, it was all about cost. India for cost arbitrage. Sure, it delivered efficiency, but let's be real, it was a limited game. The new reality, what the smartest leaders are doing right now, is completely different. It's India for capability. And that's a fundamental shift, isn't it? We're not talking about just saving money anymore. We're talking about building real, long-term enterprise value. Moving from simply outsourcing tasks to insourcing the very future of your innovation. So what's really powering this massive shift? It's not just about new policies, although they help. At its core, it's a wave of human capital so profound, it's literally becoming the engine for the next era of global enterprise. Just think about this one number for a second, 28. That's the median age in India. I mean, while other major economies are grappling with aging workforces, India offers the youngest, most dynamic talent base on the entire planet. And let me be clear, this isn't just a cool statistic for a slide. It's a massive strategic advantage. And that youth, it translates directly into unprecedented scale. We're talking about over 500 million people in the working age group. You can actually build 20-year capability roadmaps with a predictable, sustainable pipeline of talent. I mean, think about it. That level of certainty is almost unheard of in today's volatile world. But it's not just about scale, right? It has to be about skill. And this is where it gets really interesting. India produces over 3.5 million STEM graduates every single year. That's more than the US, China, and Europe combined. This is the raw material you need to build absolutely world-class teams in AI, in data science, and next-gen product engineering. And you have to understand, this workforce is just fundamentally different. They're digital natives, full stop. The time it takes to upskill them has collapsed from years down to just months. And culturally, they are built for the kind of collaborative, global work cultures that define today's most innovative companies. But here's where the story gets really interesting, and where the most strategic play is happening. It's not in the places you might think, not in the traditional hubs like Bangalore or Hyderabad. No, the next chapter, the one that unlocks true scale and sustainability, is being written on a brand new frontier. We're talking about emerging Tier 2 ecosystems. You know, cities like Ahmedabad, Indore, Vadodara. These places offer this incredible combination of untapped talent, modern infrastructure, and a business advantage that's just becoming impossible for global leaders to ignore. And if you're thinking about sustainability, the data is just, well, it's compelling. Attrition in the big metro areas can easily top 20%, right? In these Tier 2 cities, it's often less than half of that. This isn't just a line item about cost savings. This is about business continuity. It's about protecting your critical institutional knowledge. And this isn't just happening by accident. This potential is being actively nurtured. You've got these incredibly forward-thinking state governments rolling out policies specifically designed to de-risk investment and accelerate talent for what we call Global Capability Centers, or GCCs. And let's be clear, these are not back offices. They are strategic hubs of innovation. I mean, just look at states like Gujarat and Madhya Pradesh, for example. They're offering things like direct payroll support, grants to skill up local talent, even help with filing global patents. What they're essentially saying to global companies is, come here, build here, and we will share the risk and help you succeed faster. Okay, so that all sounds great in theory, but what does it actually look like in practice? Let's take a real-world example. A leading US FinTech firm. Their challenge? They needed to build out a world-class AI analytics hub to scale their fraud detection, and they needed to do it fast, without sacrificing quality. So where did they go? They chose Indore, a Tier 2 city. And look what happened. Right away, they tapped into this deep pool of young, brilliant engineering talent. State incentives immediately slashed their operating costs by almost 30%. And, this is the critical part, they built a research partnership with one of the best engineering schools in the country, IIT Indore. And the result of all this? This is what capability looks like. In just 24 months, that Indore center developed 2 proprietary machine learning models, filed for global patents, and, get this, delivered a 22% reduction in fraud detection latency for their entire global operation. That is real, tangible global impact, delivered from a Tier 2 city in India. So what's the big takeaway here for you? It's this. Thinking of India's talent ecosystem as just a line item on an operations budget is a huge mistake. It has become a durable, strategic moat. It's a source of competitive advantage that is, frankly, incredibly difficult to replicate anywhere else in the world right now. Look, the reality is simple. The combination of massive scale, world-class quality, and a competitive cost structure for critical tech skills. Right now, it's just unmatched. That right there is the core of the India advantage today. And the path to actually using this advantage is pretty clear, right? You secure talent for scale. You leverage that youth to build long-term roadmaps. You de-risk your setup with state incentives, and you ensure sustainability by going to these Tier 2 hubs. But, knowing what to do is the easy part. The real challenge for any leader is the how. How do you actually navigate this incredibly complex, fast-moving landscape? Well, that's exactly where India Inside comes into the picture. We've created a guide, a conversation really, specifically for global decision makers like you who are trying to navigate this massive GCC opportunity. So let me introduce you to India Inside, the GCC Advantage. It's a strategic business podcast from the CoreBridge GCC desk, and it's designed to do one thing: decode India's incredible rise as the world's new capability powerhouse. In each episode, we go deep. We help you decode the policies, the incentives, the talent dynamics. We translate all the complex, on-the-ground insights into clear, actionable business strategy. Look, our goal is simple. We want to connect your global goals with India's new capability frontier so that you can act with confidence and stay way ahead of the curve. The opportunity to build your next great global advantage, it's right here, right now. And for any leader who's serious about the future, this is genuinely not a conversation you can afford to miss. Because let's face it, 10 years ago, understanding India was a good idea. Today, it's not optional anymore. It's the absolute bedrock of your next sustainable global competitive advantage. The conversation really does start now, and frankly, your competitors are already making their moves. So the only real question is, will you? Go ahead and subscribe to India Insight, the GCC Advantage on Spotify, Amazon Music, or YouTube. Join us right at that intersection where global business meets India's new capability frontier.